welcome to the Daily English Show. Today we're going to have a look at a scene from the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. Breakfast at Tiffany's came out in 1961. I like this movie, apart from the Japanese character, which is really awful. Apparently the producer has actually apologised recently, but still, what were they thinking? I found out a few things I didn't know when I was reading about this movie. One of the actresses, Patricia Neal, was married to Roald Dahl, who you've probably heard of. He's one of the world's best-selling authors. And one of the actors in the movie, the guy that played the Japanese guy, Mickey Rooney, he has been married 8 times. He's still alive too. He's 87. I think it's quite funny on his website it says, Mickey was never one to settle down, which explains his 8 marriages. It's like, yeah, that explains everything. Another one of the actors, George Peppard, was married 5 times too. I guess it's not unusual for film stars. Anyway, today's scene is when Holly and Paul first meet. There are a few useful phrases you can learn from this scene. Firstly, I'm sorry to bother you, but this is a very useful phrase to remember. You can use it when you're interrupting or disturbing someone and you want to ask for a favour. For example, if you want to ask someone where the bank is, instead of saying, "Where's the bank?" you could say, "Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but could you tell me where the bank is?" Here's another useful phrase to learn. When Paul goes inside Holly's apartment for the first time, he says, "Well, this is a nice little place you've got here." When you visit someone's house for the first time, you should definitely say a compliment. You don't need to go overboard and say, "Wow, this is the greatest house I've ever seen." But you definitely need to say something. You can be general and say, "This is a nice place." Or you can be more specific and say something like, "Wow, it's really spacious." Or, "Nice paintings." So if you're going to visit an English speaker's place, you might want to prepare something to say. Or you could just use the line from the movie. "This is a nice little place you've got here." Kia ora, in Stick News today, a 19-year-old New Zealander dug giant letters into mudflats in an attempt to win his girlfriend back.
Last week, a teenager in Tauranga in New Zealand spent almost 2 hours digging out letters in mudflats. He wrote the word sorry in huge letters. The word was about 10 by 30 meters. When his neighbors saw what he was doing, they were intrigued and decided to call the local newspaper to find out what was going on. The Bay of Plenty Times investigated and found out the apology was for a girl. The boy had just got back from a year in Israel. "I suppose I did something stupid just before I left," he said. "I'm going to send a photo of it to her and try to win her back. Hopefully she'll forgive me."
And that was Stick News for Tuesday, the 10th of June. Kia ora.
Today's word is muffle. Holly put the phone in the suitcase because it kind of muffles the sound. Muffle. To make a sound quieter or less clear. A muffler is a device for reducing the noise emitted by a machine. I just found out that in British English this is called a silencer.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I couldn't get the downstairs door open. I guess they sent me the upstairs key. I'm sorry to wake you. I hate to bother you, but if I could ask one more favour. Could I use the phone? Thank you. Well, this is a nice little place you've got here. You just moved in too, huh? That's quite alright. It could happen to anyone. Quite frequently does. Good night. Sure, why not? No, I've been here for about a year. The phone's over there. Or it was. I remember. I stuck it in the suitcase. Kind of muffles the sound.
Why did Paul wake Holly? A. He couldn't get the door open. B. He lost the key. C. He had an appointment to see her. A. Why did Paul go inside Holly's apartment? A. To pick up a key. B. To use the phone. C. To have a cup of coffee. B. How long has Holly lived in her apartment? A. About a week. B. About a month. C. About a year. C. Where is Holly's phone? A. On the table. B. In her handbag. C. In her suitcase. C. Why did she put it in the suitcase? A. She's taken it on holiday. B. She's just moved in. C. It muffles the sound. C.
And that was the Daily English Show. See you tomorrow. Bye.